Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 70 of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Winter Garden, Florida.
Which will be moving soon to Orlando, Florida by the Florida Mall.
Yes.
Just in about 2 weeks.
And Maple Leaf Tickets in Kissimmee, Florida.
Not moving.
Not moving.
Yes, our official ticket agency. The best deals on tickets in town. Check them out.
And we're going to be talking first about the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I keep thinking Snow White Mine Train, but it's Seven Dwarfs.
You got that right. And here it is. They actually had one of the Seven Dwarfs mine cars on the track, which was very exciting.
Yes, and a friend of ours already knew it was out there, and he showed us the best way to look
angles,
at it.
Yes, helps to have friends. But you can see the mine car is sort of separated into two sections. So depending on how heavy the people in the car are, I'm guessing will depend on how far that part sways. So they could sway differently. I get that.
I have no idea. I just know I don't know. I know there were weights in the car, so they could test them. But if it has to do with weight, then we need to be careful with that.
All the gymnasiums in town are, they've lost their weights.
That's what it looks like.
That's where they are. It really does just look like weights for weightlifting.
It does.
Use. But I thought it's interesting. I have never actually seen, I've always heard about the Imagineers testing roller coasters with weights, to simulate people, and I've never seen it before. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That was cool.
And you can sort of see that there is no divider between the two seats, so I'm guessing there'll be a lap bar, probably something like a Big Thunder. So, if you have a larger person and a small person, the small person might kind of float around a little bit. Sort of like a Big Thunder.
It's been a long time since I've been the smaller person,
yes,
so I have no idea.
I have also not been a smaller person, so I totally understand.
I actually am looking forward to the attraction, so hopefully early next year. I don't know when exactly.
I can almost picture the car going around that curve right there. If it wasn't for the warning tape, the crime scene tape there's another view of the track. So yeah, I'm very excited too. It looking good.
So hopefully eventually we'll see them actually making their way around.
I want to see inside. I want to see, I know we have no access and all that, but it would be cool to see what kind of thing. I heard somebody told us they are working inside already.
Right.
So, that would be very interesting to see what kind of animation. Although when we asked the Imagineer if there will be any of the old attraction figures or anything from the old attraction in the new one, they said that they told us anyway, no, because the the size will be wrong and the scale and all that. So, there's one covered up at nighttime. We also saw that.
I think it might be the same one, and you could see there's a lantern at the back. You could see a little bit better.
So also we had a chance to check out the new Princess Fairytale Hall,
and we went during the Disney Parks blog meetup for the first time. We've been there twice now.
Right. So this is the Parks blog meetup. This was actually after the big rush kind of let down, so we can go in there and show everybody the details without a big crowd. And I think one of the cooler details, I don't mean to interrupt you, is the stained glass there.
Well, we haven't seen that yet. They have the lights here that kind of look like crowns, and then we're going up to the stained glass, which has Cinderella motif. I don't know if that's how you would say it.
I think it's Jacques and Gus.
Right, from Cinderella.
Yes, very ornate and detailed. I like it.
But at the same time, I think the Princess Fairytale Hall is very subtle. It's not, over the top Disney. It's just a very elegant, subtle place.
Right. It doesn't kill you when with detail, at least at the beginning. But when you get to the pictures, they are very, very detailed. If you look at the paintings of the princesses, you can sort of see a little backstory a little bit, and we'll get into that further when we get into it.
Well, they're created by classically trained artists. So again, though beautiful but subtle, again, it doesn't look over the top. It
almost looks like they're black lit, sort of, with black lighting. The colors sort of really pop out there. In person, they look beautiful.
They are beautiful. And if you go through the Fast Pass queue, you're not going to see
these.
Right.
We meant to mention that. This is the regular standby. The only bad thing about this is the Fast Pass queue. You don't see any of this. So we would recommend going early and going through the regular queue, and then before we forget, there are some of the details. It's Tiana's the boat there, the riverboat, and you could see the fireflies and all that. There again, when you're there, if you have a chance, take a look at the pictures and some of the storytelling.
It is better to go through at least one time through the hallway, and again, if you get there at 9 in the morning, it should not take too long, and you can see all of this. But if you got fast passes for both sides, because you do need 2 fast passes if you want to see both Rapunzel and Cinderella.
All 4 princesses.
Right, if you want to see all 4 princesses, you need
Now, you say this reminds you of the Castle Suite.
This does.
You had stayed in the Castle Suite, which is very cool.
Actually, there's like a lobby when you're going into the Castle Suite, and this area reminds me of that.
Did they have one of these fancy slippers
I think there was a slipper. I took a picture of it.
Really?
I think so.
I will have to go check that out.
I think they took it.
Maybe they took it. Maybe they borrowed it from the Castle Suite.
I'm sure there must be another slipper.
And there's a few throwaways to the former attraction, the Snow White, or the Snow White Scary Adventure attraction, which this replaced, unfortunately.
Well, we miss that. And we've been asked if we prefer this or I preferred the attraction, but, we don't have that option to go back to the attraction. This is what we have, and it's very nice.
Right, I agree. I preferred the attraction as well. I mean, it's an original dark ride. It's sad to see it go. Hopefully the Mine Train will make up for it.
Well, we can go to Disneyland and see the original.
But also we've been very spoiled because the princesses we have met have been top notch. I mean, they're the
same. They're all. There's only one
but I'm
princess.
saying they have been on good form. They're showing us all these detail and very talkative. And I was very impressed by the meet and greet opportunities.
They showed us supposedly there's going to be some interactivity with the magic bands at some point in here too.
Well, this was my favorite part. This is Rapunzel, and she was doing the smolder for us. But because we were taking a little while talking to Rapunzel, you had Snow White next door wanting to get in on the act. She's like, I would like to do the smolder too. So here she is doing her smolder. So I suggested we'll have dual princess, double smolder. Yes, your blue.
The camera.
But here we go, double smolder. We will link to
and
this.
We've already seen somebody made this an animated GIF.
Yes, we'll link to it in the show notes. All these interactions are great. All the princesses are wonderful. Snow White is showing us the detail, like her book in German, just like the original book.
But then when she showed the ones on the bottom, you were like, "Oh, do you have a book?" And it's like she just showed you.
I was excited. The princess herself was showing me these things. I wasn't. It was
very interesting. It's nice when the characters really are, animated.
What are you saying? Of course they are. They are.
No, but sometimes they're more just want to talk to you, but sometimes they're really excited about especially their new home.
Yes. Well, they were all top notch, top form. So
what does that mean?
I don't know. See, she's even hopping. How cool! I mean, I don't know. I thought they were very.
It was worth
good.
going in.
Now, this same night, actually, one of the nights we did that was Friday the 13th. That was the night of the Parks Blog event. They also had the Unleash the Villains event at Disney Hollywood Studios.
Which we never made it over to.
We did not make it over to. We had the best intentions, but we couldn't do it. Luckily, our good friend Martin Smith and a few of our other friends were able to.
Michelle and
Rowan were able to record it for us, so we were able to get this great footage, and we can talk about it. We've heard all about the event. We know about some of the difficulties. It was
crowded.
Right. We heard it was very, very crowded, and it was tough, I guess, to get
characters, to see the characters.
Right. 3 or 4 hour waits or something like that, and I just. It sounded like it was a great event, a fun event, and I'd love to see it come back. Maybe just expand it for 3 days.
Right.
And, just give people more of a chance to get in and see it without
I don't know why they wouldn't expect it to be completely packed out, because it's villains and it's one night.
Bowler hat guy.
Right. And
you never see him.
I don't know
he never comes out.
Who is he?
He's from Meet the Robinsons.
I only saw that once.
There were 13 villains. Oh, Jafar's having a little trouble with the door there. There's 13 villains, so I'm showing little clips of all 13 coming out.
Some of them are the ones that you'll see all the time, like Captain Hook and Jafar. You see them like at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
But there were some very, very rare villains. And, of course, this was hosted by Hades with Meg. And also they had Panic. Pain, apparently, was stuck in traffic, we were told. Originally, Pain and Panic were supposed to be there.
I didn't know he was planning to drive in.
Yes, well, Martin said only Panic made it because the other ones
and
were...
Cruella. It's sort of like being at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
And that's where we were.
We were there.
It's amazing how Cruella managed to get there that fast, because we saw her at the Villains Mix and Mingle.
They weren't stuck in traffic, obviously. They went the back way.
Or they went on a broom. Somebody could have had a broom or something like this. So, and let's see, who do we have here? Oh, it's Dr. Facilier.
Yep.
And we saw him at the Halloween party also.
So, obviously, they were shuttling back and forth.
Now, I think coming up, nope, not quite yet. This is Judge Frollo, right.
And it was, it would have been fun to see, but I don't like huge crowds. Like, I would have been very uncomfortable with that size crowd.
This was the big draw, apparently. According to my friends who were there, everybody wanted Oogie Boogie.
Well, we wanted to see Oogie Boogie.
Of course.
And hopefully, just like Jack and Sally are now at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, hopefully they'll bring in Oogie Boogie at some point.
Either that or they'll have a hard ticket villains event over at the studios.
Or they should
which,
bring
of course,
them
we
into
would end up getting stuck having to go to that because it's cool.
To get stuck.
And this is Shen Yu, if I'm saying that right. Shen Yu.
This is
from
my
Mulan.
favorite.
Never seen. He
one
never
of
comes out.
No, he doesn't. That's one
Like
of my
Kit
favorite
Fisto
films.
never comes out. And Maleficent. And that's all 13 villains.
That's
There
a
you
lot
go.
of villains.
It is a lot of villains.
Was Megara considered a villain,
Megara
actually?
was considered a sidekick or a co-host, sort of. Like, it was Hades, Megara, and Pain and Panic. And they were the ones
Were they
hosting.
considered all villains?
Yes. She would
Okay.
still be a villain because she worked for the villain.
Okay.
So this was the hot ticket, though. Right here, the hot ticket was the meet and greet with Oogie Boogie.
And did Martin take this footage as
Yes,
well?
all this is Martin. Everything you're seeing here is a combination of Martin, Michelle, and Rune's footage. So
They did
great
a
job,
really
and thanks
great job.
again for coming
And
through.
we were asked, because we have videos up, why we didn't have any interaction with them.
Somebody
First,
asked us,
we
why didn't
weren't
we have
there.
our usual interview with Oogie Boogie the way we do it?
And I don't know if we would have even been able to make it, especially coming from the Halloween party. The lines were just too long.
Well, from what I've read, it was pretty much get your picture, go. Get your picture, go. There was no real time to do a interview or talk to them or do anything. It was just pretty much.
Wouldn't have been good
the lines
anyway
were
for us.
incredibly long, apparently, and it was blasting loud.
Right, 3 to 4 hours per. So
right.
that's a long time.
So-
And you wouldn't have known if you were seeing like Captain.
Well,
Captain
here,
Hook.
look at this. Look at the amount of people.
I can't even imagine.
And it was 3 hours. I guess they kept it open after the park closed at 1. And it was probably until 2 or later by the time they got everybody through. Here is the fireworks they had. Villainy in the Sky fireworks. Looks very much like a New Year's Eve fireworks show.
And we were told, though, by everybody we know who did make it out there that this was one of the best fireworks shows they've ever seen on Disney property.
Ever.
And
we just found out last night that they did this show, or what we think is this show again, to a private group that had
the travel agents,
the travel
probably.
agent group who had rented out the studio. So if you had been staying at a Epcot resort, you could have seen it again.
Seen it or heard it?
Or, well, both, if you walked out. And also, last week, we did the Give Kids the World Blogger Bowl, put on by our good friends at Attractions Magazine. Oh, look at this!
Oh, no!
There's our good John, who is on
And
our
John.
team, John Karowski, and there's you, loading up on the
We had a
food.
lot of fun. I mean, we raised a little money. I think total $20,000 from everybody for Give Kids the World.
Right.
And it was really a good time. There's Mayor Clayton.
Mayor Clayton.
I volunteer over at Give Kids the World.
Yes.
So it was nice to actually get to meet Mayor Clayton. Usually it's all the kids at Give Kids World meeting him. So.
Mayor Clayton was very, very nice. I
And he
enjoyed meeting him.
bowls.
Well, his bowling skills leave a little to be desired,
Yes.
but he is a very nice rabbit.
So now that we have raised money for the bowling,
Well, we have to show there was
Oh, no.
Brian Ramsey from Theme Park Connection paid money to make me bowl
Like an
infant on sitting down. But I showed him because I actually knocked down some pins.
You
there.
did.
So a little extra
I'm
for
glad
Give
nobody
Kids the
asked
World.
me to do anything weird.
No
There was
dares.
a bunch of.
There were a lot of dares going around, but luckily you didn't. Oh, here is Scotty Too Hottie,
and I had no idea who he was.
former pro wrestler, and he's doing the worm. That was the worm.
I have never watched wrestling.
Yes.
Not really.
Well,
so.
here is a
Indigo.
young friend of ours, and he is going to do the worm, but Mr. Scotty is going to help him out to do a full worm. Look at this. Extra worm for him. So tell us about Give Kids the World real quick.
Give Kids the World is where kids with life-threatening illnesses get to go and spend a week, and they go to Disney World and SeaWorld and Universal and such. And I'm going to be running a half marathon in January also, and we're still raising funds. We need to raise $3,000.
And we'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. Also, we went to Epcot for our usual Epcot roundup.
Right, and I had gone, and then we went together yesterday.
And this is Morocco, the latest state of the new restaurant at Morocco.
Right, and it's actually finally coming along.
And you found more stuff at Japan, too.
I did, and I always enjoy these stylized Disney-type items also. They have all kinds of cool stuff.
Naughty Pinocchio.
Yeah, I don't know what that
what
was.
that is. Very
And
suspicious.
It's like a pencil box.
And the very exciting bathrooms, the new bathrooms
Almost
in
as
America.
big as a whole new country.
Yes. And look at how nice. It's almost too nice inside.
You can see my arm.
Textured wallpaper.
It's not fancy. I just took a couple pictures inside just to show how big they are. Huge. So it's nice because when you go to see a concert, there's the beer area for the Food and Wine Festival.
It's
That people are going to need to use these.
And at least they kept the garden too. They didn't lose the whole garden. You discovered this. This is wonderful. I want to actually have
beer
this.
pasta, but it's not made of beer. It just
beer
looks
shaped.
like beer.
Beer
Yes.
shaped. You couldn't
and that's
really
in
have
Germany.
beer pasta. That would probably not be.
No.
Well, maybe it would.
I don't know.
New Mexico shirts.
Right.
A new design.
And Pluto's in a couple of these, and just the different characters. You can see like Pluto with a bone
The
surrounded
Day of the
by
Dead.
the
I like the Day of the Dead.
But I didn't even notice Pluto there at first.
Yes, we have to have Pluto because he likes the bone.
And there's Mickey, and that's sort of an old style Mickey and Goofy, like
Right.
something you might find in the 80s.
With the big Mexican hats that they sell there.
That Goofy, like this is just in the regular shops, or not Goofy.
That was Grumpy.
Grumpy, big, the biggest Grumpy.
And it looks like
face.
they're right now they are doing some
Refurb
work on the pin station. So,
I know that was the biggest thing on my Instagram was that.
well, people love the pins, but all the pins are still there. They're just moved over to the side
To the
on your
other
way to World Showcase.
Right. And we also want to say hi to Ryan and Kayla, who we met over at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party
Yes,
last
very
week.
nice to meet them. And that's another show. Wow,
That's
it
another
goes by
show.
so fast. Thanks to our friends at Theme Park Connection, moving very soon.
And Maple Leaf Tickets in Kissimmee, Florida.
Not
moving.
Not moving at all. And we will see everybody again next week.
Bye.